You can play solo, but a lot of people were asking me, it's like, can I play offline?
You cannot.
12 on 12 death matches.
Hey guys, my name is ESO and welcome back to the channel. Now in this video we're going to be going over a recent interview with Todd Howard as well as parts of a documentary that was released by NoClip about how Fallout 76 was made. Because if you're still hoping to enjoy the solo experience that we all know and love from previous Fallout titles, all hope is not yet lost, but bear with me and I'm going to go through all of the information in these videos to hopefully give you a better understanding of how the game's going to work and if this is the kind of Fallout game for you. And guys, I'm also giving away a Nintendo Switch. You can enter that competition linked in the description below. Now Todd Howard confirmed that Fallout 76 is online only, so you will not be able to play it single player yet. This means that even if you're planning on focusing on questing and scavenging on your own, there are always going to be other players present in the same world as you. Yesterday during the presentation, Todd told us that we should be able to play the game solo. However, what he meant by this is that you can still have your solo experience within this multiplayer Fallout game. Todd made it very clear in the interview that every character you see is going to be a real person. There are no NPCs. He also goes on to say this.
If you see a lot of the quests we do in Fallout 4 that are kind of this found world quest thing, we still do all of that.
Okay.
But then, so if you sort of picture doing those quests or you watch someone play Fallout 4, it's like that. But then, as opposed to running into a gang of raiders, those are real players.
And then, of course, the subject of PvP comes up. Todd Howard explains that he does not want PvP to be griefy. And at the end of the day, you've got to appreciate that everyone at Bethesda Game Studios are RPG players, solo players like me and you. So they must have some kind of understanding as to how we all feel about this design decision. And while saying that he doesn't want PvP to be griefy, he says that he wants to have some drama there. But it's still rather confusing because he goes on to say this.
So there is a way that you can decide to do PvP, and we are currently balancing kind of the incentives for someone who wants to be very aggressive to people and those who want to ignore it. I would say we don't want it to be griefy in any way, and we'll dial it in so people can say, look, I don't want to deal with that.
So you can pick. It's like I don't want PvP.
Well,
you want a little bit of a little fear, I guess.
We want a little bit of drama there without the without them ruining your game.
So Todd is telling us that PvP is optional and that you can decide to do it. But then, when asked if it can be turned off, he says, no, we want some aspect of drama. Now, one of the first things I thought of when he said this was that there may be areas where it's PvP only and areas where you can't attack other players, a little bit like the wilderness in RuneScape, where it's just a PvP zone. But I actually really do doubt that's the case. Now, for a lot of us, this is our worst fears confirmed. The fact that other people are going to potentially ruin your solo experience. But here on Twitter, a fan actually tweeted at Pete Hines saying, "Hi Pete, just a quick question. In the interview with Todd Howard, he mentioned you are working on solutions to griefing. Are you able to give a bit of detail about these solutions?" So I'm not misunderstanding, you mean someone that keeps tracking you down and killing you, or killing everyone, or question mark. Yeah, someone who's actively trying to ruin your experience by killing you again and again or trashing your settlements. Then Pete says, well, we are still tweaking how it works, but as I said in an interview, PvP is kind of like issuing a challenge to somebody. If you don't want to deal with them, they can't keep killing you over and over. Todd is better suited to explain the specifics, and I really do think they need to expand on that a little bit more. So clearly there is something in place to stop the same player killing you over and over again, but I think the worry of most people is that it doesn't matter who they get killed by. If they're killed by several different people over the course of 3 hours, it's still going to be quite annoying for them if that's not what you're into. No matter how you frame it, other people are going to be able to kill you, and that will probably annoy you in some regards, because it's always going to interrupt what you're doing. And now currently this is completely out of your control. There are no settings on the public servers that we're going to be playing Fallout 76 on that allow you to turn PvP off or just play the game offline or on your own with no other players. But Todd does say in this interview, when he starts talking about mods, that they are planning to put private servers on that you can mod yourself. And this would also mean that you could literally play the game on a private server with just your closest friends or just on your own. However, he makes very clear that this is not going to be at launch.
And then some period later, we're currently still designing what that service looks like. You'll be able to have your own private world and be able to mod it and do all of that. We think with our games, that's where like the long-term life of them really is.
Yeah.
That is trickier when you get into an online world, but we're definitely committed to that. Just won't be at launch.
So it's good and bad news, I guess. And to give you guys some idea about how far this probably is away, the guys from NoClip, when recording the video about how Fallout 76 was made, they were in the studios about 6 weeks before making this documentary, and here's one of the clips from their video.
Fallout 76 is online. You can play as a lone wanderer if you so choose, but there are no private maps or offline mode to speak of.
So they actually say that there are no private servers or anything like that. But then Todd in this interview says that they are going to be adding private servers for mods. So when can we expect these private servers to come out? Well, I think they're going to be a long way away, guys. And I think it comes down to this. If you want to buy this game expecting a Fallout solo experience, you're going to be disappointed and you're going to want to wait to either seeing gameplay and thinking, hey, is PvP going to ruin this game for me, or is it still playable? Am I still going to enjoy it? Or waiting even longer and saying, okay, now they have private servers, I'm going to buy the game and I'm just going to play it on my own and enjoy it. Those are the questions that you've got to ask yourself personally. I myself am going to be buying the game, playing it with all of you guys, and this is going to be a lot of fun. I, like you though, do also play the Elder Scrolls titles and the Fallout titles for the solo playing experience and enjoying the world in my way. So I'm looking forward to those private servers and being able to mod them and enjoy the game how I want to enjoy it, which is what Elder Scrolls is all about to me. And I'm going to be leaving some other videos down below in the description discussing mods in more detail and also discussing the Creation Club and exactly how that's going to work. So if you're interested in that, check out those videos, and you can also subscribe as well. But make sure you press that little bell icon there, because then YouTube will notify you as soon as I release those videos. And I just want to leave you guys with this final clip because I think it's pretty interesting. Like, most AAA publishers never take risks like this. And this final note from Todd, I just thought it really summed up that he's quite bold and he's going to take this risk with a Fallout multiplayer game. And he literally sounds like he doesn't know what's going to happen with it, and it's going to be a test, which is why they're having this beta. And I think we're all wondering, how is this going to turn out, including Bethesda? So let me leave you guys with this clip. Have a good day and goodbye.
The other players are a system that we don't control in a great way. Let's not shy away from it. Let's kind of solve it. Let them collide. And where there's extra bad griefing or systems, we have a number of levers in place. But that, for me, is where a lot of the drama is. Like, let's let them all collide. And it'll be messy for a little bit, but we can solve it. I'd rather do that than, like, play it safe. It's, like, boring. You can sit, though, in any design meeting and come up with, like, a list of reasons not to do something.
Right.
It's pretty easy. Like, well, I'm worried about this, and I'm worried about this, and I'm worried about this. And I'm like, I'm worried it's going to be boring. Like, let's at least try it.